Got to get the bell on film. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, Rotarians and students and visiting guests. My name's Ron Strobel. I'm the Sergeant at Arms. Our invocation this morning is by Jim Hackney.
Good morning, fellow Rotarians.
Good morning.
We are thankful for our Rotary fellowship together with a hand of friendly understanding extended towards other businesses and professions in our town, community, and to other clubs throughout our land, and to Rotary clubs beyond the seas. We rejoice in the challenge of life, in these exciting times, and in the spirit of service above self. We pray that our personal lives may be channels for the flow of loving goodwill in all of our relationships every day. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jim. And now to lead us in the pledge and four-way test, Liz Ramsey.
Okay, let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Liz. And to lead us in song, Dick Pearsall.
We're going to sing one stanza of It Came About a Midnight Clear, and we're going to follow with a little I Wish You a Merry Christmas kind of stuff. But let's do the Midnight Clear. It came upon a midnight clear, the glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. He sung the word of men from heaven's all gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Now let's biff it off. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy jump in. I wish you a Merry Christmas. Louder! I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish big innings and a happy New Year. It will.
You're a great song leader when you can do it with only one arm. And to lead our meeting today, President-elect Joe Avella.
Good morning, Rotarians. Allison woke up this morning, according to an email this morning, with the flu symptoms, so she's better off where she is, and we wish her well. I'd like to thank our greeters this morning, Ron Barnhouse and Cale Royster, and of course our setup and audiovisual team, Jimmy Sutphin, Ron Barnhouse, Tom Page, Larry Santon, and James Field, and working the camera this morning is Julia Snodgrass, so thank you. Next, we'd like to call, thank you. So how about Chris Barker with some introductions?
Good morning, Rotarians and guests. I'd like to introduce some of our guests with us today, and if they would please stand up so we can give them a nice greeting. From the Hudson Service Learning class, we have Adam Miner. And of course, we have Julia Snodgrass, who's helping on the AV. Thank you very much. And then we have Evan McCauley, who's here to visit with us again. And Matt LaFountain, son of Art LaFountain. Thank you. And I'm not sure, Pete Goheen was supposed to be visiting us today, I believe. Pete, thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Next, I'd like to call Jimmy Sutphin for some announcements.
Thank you, Joe. We get to sing again. We have to sing happy birthday. We don't have to sing. We want to sing. Happy birthday to Jim Hackney. You got to stand. Allison's not feeling well, but it's her birthday on the 9th. Dick Pearsall, and I'm going to tell everybody how old you're going to be. You got to stand up, Dick. He's going to be 90 December 28th. Dan Rich is going to be 39. Ron Strobel, December the 17th. 21st. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everybody. Happy birthday to you. I'll get it right.
Okay, today is distribution of our fall fundraiser items, and I'd like to call upon Tom Page to give us some information about that.
First off, thanks. Thanks to everybody. We were even getting orders yesterday. Gee, you got an extra dozen roses, Tom? Anyhow, as some of you have already found out, we got you marked, and out there, some have already taken the stuff. Larry and I and Inky will be out there distributing roses and caramel corn for you and all that. So, hey, this is going to be great. We get rid of these roses and caramel corn to the right people. But thank you very much for participating. If for some reason you have not paid Larry, get the money to him. I would appreciate that. And if for some other reason you haven't participated, please do. We'll take donation checks. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. My understanding that, let's see what's next here. Okay, Dexter is not here. So it's my understanding that Duncan Tanner recites a Christmas poem every year at the Rotary meeting. This is his first Christmas at our Rotary meeting, so we want to have Duncan continue that tradition.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning. Good to be back. Thank you for the card, and thank you for the good wishes. She was an incredible lady. So we're going to get into it. Every year in every Rotary I've ever been involved in, I've had the opportunity to write and present a poem. And this is the ideal time of year to me give something to the Rotarians that I care so much about. So without further ado, and with apologies to whoever wrote this many years ago, I present 'Twas a Rotary Wednesday. 'Twas a Rotary Wednesday, another Laurel Lake day. Tom, Ron, and Larry are setting up. Don't get in their way. Ed, Chris, and Jimmy were the first to arrive, and Max, always happy, said it's good to be alive. As President Allison scrambled to get ready, the membership gathered, the buffet line most steady. When Sergeant Ron struck the bell, knives and forks hit the table. Few noticed Rich sneaking in, late again, but able. After George said a prayer and Dick sang a song, Rotarians readied for the meeting, hopefully engaging and not too long. Rotarians, the four-way test freshened every mind and every heart. James held his breath for the internet. It's working. Time to start. Everything was normal, every action status quo, until Gail exclaimed in surprise, "Something's not right. I just know." Sure enough, the members sensed a presence most unsettling, as if something or someone was visiting, but not meddling. Astonished, we watched as two apparitions came into view. The bad boy table scattered, not knowing what to do. It was Carl and Joe, two veteran members most revered, who said, "These ghosts are to be welcomed, not feared." Sure enough, they were right, as it became clear to one and all that the spirits of Christmas and Paul Harris now controlled the dining hall. With voices bold and unfettered by the ravages of age, St. Nick and Harris spoke slowly, a message most wise and sage. Every year, they said, we choose one club to visit and address, a single group of Rotarians with Hudson rising above the rest. It is gifts we bring, chosen especially for each of you. So gather, be still, and listen. We guarantee a message most true. To Brad Nelson, wells that gush, spewing barrels of oil and gas. To Allison and John, many troubled clients who never pay you last. Roseanne, most kind, who serves children facing the worst. An annual appeal always exceeding goal, donors putting those youngsters first. To Ron, a pantry always filled with food, and to Phil, a cadre of teachers always in a good mood. To Bill and Ron, club stalwarts with opinions cogent and evolved, a city council debate, fervent and never to be solved. For Catherine Signs, a lady bold and viable, debits and credits in balance and figures simple and pliable. And for Jim's clients who are seeking a better life, solid careers aplenty to reduce the stress and strife. And speaking of accounting, we'd be remiss to forget Rich, so no need to visit and squirm. We give you a town with Warfield Company as the only CPA firm. To Kelly and Chris, bankers of wit and knowledge, savings advice guaranteed to get clients' kids through college. And to the father and son named Tobin, whose philanthropy needs no proof, a foundation solid and firm with growth projections through the roof. For Donna, marketing challenges that only she can solve. For Gail, buyers smart enough to find Royster Realty to involve. For James, a school district board in need of a leader most clever. And to coach a football team that can run Oklahoma's forever. And as our favorite way to travel always involves the rails, to Craig, a capital campaign funded by donations delivered in pails. And to Art and Jeff and Dexter, every savvy investor's friend, a market with record growth and sage guidance ready to lend. And last but not least, a special gift to those retired, who've paid their dues and discreetly snooze while the young pups work and work in daily stress mired. With gifts and glad tidings distributed, the spirits of Paul Harris and Christmas got ready to leave. But before they disappeared, our founders shared a final word. Transfixed and speechless, the Hudson Club said not a word. Make me a promise, my sisters and brothers, a pledge to always keep. Know it, share it, and live it when awake and when asleep. In a time when people keep their distance, when folks ask, what's in it for me? Remember why we gather and what that test reminds us to be. Rotary connects those in need to those with a solution. Never forget you are in leaders of a special fellowship revolution. So give graciously and completely, placing your needs up on a shelf. And every day remember, it's about service above self. Merry Christmas.
That was very well done, very well done. Thank you. So now, for our program, I would like to call upon Gail Royster to introduce our program today.
Good morning, Rotarians. Duncan, you are phenomenal. Thank you very, very much for that. It is my pleasure, the third Wednesday of every month, to have our service learning class here. So we're going to do that before we do our scholarship winners. And in particular, Lonnie Banner has a special project going on now, which I've been emailing you about. And I wanted to particularly thank Joe Avella, Brad Nelson, James Field, Phil Herman, Den Rich, George Snyder, Ron Strobel, Jim Ahern, Bob Krampf, all for raising your hand to come and listen to the presentations that these kids are making. And these young people, not kids, young people. And I've had the pleasure this week of sitting in on some of them, and Ron and I also did one yesterday together. It is quite an experience, guys. You're really going to enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun, and these kids make excellent presentations and very interesting topics. I learned what a PDA is. Anybody? What is a PDA? Oh, you guys, yes! Public display of affection. Anyway, so that was one of the topics, because the students are to choose something they feel neutral about and something they feel uncomfortable about, and then weave it into the random acts of kindness. Very, very ingenious. Anyway, okay, so Lonnie and her students are going to come up and tell you what they've been doing this month in addition to their presentations.
Good morning. So happy to see all of you. I hope you guys are ready for a wonderful holiday. I'm looking forward to spending time with my family in the next 2 weeks, so it's going to be great. I have two outstanding, intelligent, and individuals with just fantastic sense of humors here to talk to you today about their service and what they're going to be doing next year in college. So I have the wonderful Adam and the wonderful Julia, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Adam. I have the privilege of serving at a Head Start in Streetsboro with these kids that are underprivileged, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate Miss Banner being able to set up this service program, because I've built such a connection with these children, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. And like, each individual child is different, and it's so much that I learn that I'm there, and how like privileged I am to be in Hudson, have such a great school and such great parents and such a great community. Now, as far as college, I recently enlisted to the United States Military National Guard, and I will be leaving July 14th for boot camp, basic, and AIT, and I will be going to Akron, and I will be joining the ROTC program and continuing my career from there. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Julia. I volunteer at the Salvation Army Soup Kitchen in downtown Akron for my site this semester, where we prepare and serve meals to the homeless community in Akron. And it has really helped me realize, kind of like what Adam said, like how privileged we are here, because I know there's a man that comes in every week, and every time we ask him how he is, he just says that he's happy that he woke up that morning, and that, I don't know, kind of struck a chord with me. Like, I never really consider that just like being alive right now is like a blessing or anything. So just to hear people like that are struggling so bad, like that's all they care about, is really amazing. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be in service learning. It's really helped me a lot. It's been really awesome. And as for college, I'm hopefully going to go to Ohio State University to pursue a degree in political science. So, yeah.
And does anybody have any questions? And I hope to see you in January to listen to their presentations. They've been fantastic so far. So thank you so much for your help. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so for the main event, every year the Rotary Club of Hudson grants scholarships to deserving Hudson High School seniors. And in charge of that program are Dan Williams and Catherine Sines, and I'm going to invite them to come up, tell you a little bit more about it, and then they have some of their recipients here to share what's been going on in their college lives. Dan and Catherine?
Thank you.
Catherine sits right there and just looks at me as I do this. So I'm used to being directed by women, so I feel very comfortable with that. Catherine and I are very, very pleased that this morning we can have 4 out of the 5 of our scholarship recipients from this year come join us. Unfortunately, with the way Christmas falls this year, we had to move this back a week, and some of the kids are still in finals. So Kate McGregor has a final today, her last one, so obviously she chose that as a priority over being here. So she's not here, but we're lucky to have the other 4. And what we ask, you've met them all, but what we'd like to do, and we started this 3 or 4 years ago, is to have them come up and share a bit with us as to how their first semester went, successes, maybe some things that were not so successful. We're always interested in how Hudson prepared them for college. So without further ado, let's start with Natalie Stiles, who is an Ohio State Buckeye.
Good morning, Rotarians. It's good to be back in Hudson with you all, and I'm here a few days fresh out of my first semester at The Ohio State University, so I'm going to share a little bit of my first semester experience with you. Currently, I'm a biochemistry major, so I am pursuing that on a pre-med track and hopefully a minor in Spanish and art. And so far, it's going pretty well. It was definitely an adjustment at first on an academic level, just to, the big lectures and the rigor of the classes. But I think the whole time I've been pretty thankful for my preparation that I received through Hudson Education. I think just the value of education that our town places throughout the Hudson schooling has been really beneficial because it gave me the drive and the motivation to pursue what I want. And I've already seen kids who decide the pre-med track isn't for me, based off one chemistry class. And even though it is hard, I'm trying to persevere and keep that drive going. And in addition, I am thankful for the advanced placement courses that our school offers because not every student has that opportunity, and through those I was able to get a significant amount of credit that has allowed me to open up my schedule for other classes that aren't necessarily my major requirements, like art classes and Spanish classes that will give me the opportunity to pursue those minors. So I'm thankful for that. And even beyond academics, I'm learning every day new things about time management and study skills and adaptability, living with new people. But it's all been a positive experience. And one of the things that I'm so grateful I've invested my time in at The Ohio State University is Mount Leadership Society Scholars, which I applied to when I was applying to school. And Mount Leadership is focused on service and leadership primarily. So I have a requirement to do at least one service event per month. And in addition to that, I'm on the service committee, so I help plan some of those things. So we've done crafts with kids at a homeless shelter and, face painting at a Halloween party and volunteering with kids at a fall harvest festival. So plenty of volunteering opportunities there, which has been fun. And through Mount, I've been able to meet so many people because we moved in 4 days early. So, by the first day of school, I already had familiar faces on campus, which has really helped create a small community at such a huge campus. And I'm grateful to be part of that. Also, outside of that, I am a Eucharistic minister at the Newman Center on campus, as well as at the Wexner Medical Center. So I spend my Sundays doing that. I love everything about Ohio State. The school spirit is incredible. I'm excited to cheer on the Buckeyes at the Sugar Bowl in January. I attended every home game, so those were, of course, really fun. And I'm just extremely grateful that the Rotarians support me, and they've given me the opportunity to be part of such a great school. So go Bucks, and thank you, Rotarians.
I think you'll see as we go through the rest of our scholarship recipients the quality that Hudson produces. And we're very, very lucky that we get to work with these types of students. Second person is the only one of our recipients this year that did not go to Ohio State. And Paul Shortman is at the University of Cincinnati. And he's going to come up and talk about his experience.
Good morning, Rotarians. I am Paul Shortman. I am the only recipient to not go to the Ohio State University. Thank you. I chose the University of Cincinnati because of their co-op program for the engineering program. I'm studying to be a chemical engineer, and the way the program works is I have a full freshman year, and then I have the first summer off. Then after that, I alternate between going to school and working for an actual company in the real world. I end up having 8 semesters of school and 5 semesters of work internship over 5 years. And the thing that really sold me is companies typically hire their interns through the co-op program, so they pretty much said I pretty much have a job after I graduate, so that's kind of good. But school's going well for me. I passed all of my classes, thankfully. I actually did so with flying colors, and Hudson had a big part in helping with that. Hudson prepared me very well with their course load and with all the APs they offer, everything. There are some students who I know who they were overwhelmed by week 2, and I was not overwhelmed at any point, even during finals and midterms. Hudson prepares you very well with how they cumulatively have their course load build up to learning everything for the final course, including the AP tests. At the University of Cincinnati, I don't really do much, not gonna lie, but I wanted to. Yes, I study a lot, and I've just been trying to adjust to the college life. It's very different than being in the Hudson bubble. I joined the Bearcat Buddies, which is it's a volunteer program where college students go into inner city Cincinnati and go to inner city schools and help tutor their struggling students in math and English. I'm a math tutor, in case you're wondering. But other than that, I would like to thank the Rotarians for giving me the scholarship to allow me to go to such a beautiful university as the University of Cincinnati. And I thank you.
I'm glad we got at least one engineer out of the group. That's good. Our third recipient that's with us today obviously goes to Ohio State University, and that's Jackie Ulmer.
Good morning, Rotarians. My name is Jackie Ulmer. I obviously attend The Ohio State University. My first year is definitely off to a great start. I absolutely love Ohio State, more than I ever thought I would. But some of the big things I've realized after going to college is how great of a place Hudson is to call home. It's beyond words how much of a transition it was to go to college and adjust to classes and living with people, and it was just crazy, but it was an awesome experience. And I honestly feel like going to college has made me grow up so much. I've become more of an adult, and I'm not like the scared little like Hudson bubble child I used to be, but it's just a great place to be. And I've also come to realize how lucky I am to have had the education that I did have. And growing up through the Hudson School District, it allowed me to go to such like a prestigious university that is growing so much. And it has like helped me in my classes and like writing and reading and math skills. And like when I look and help some of my peers that struggle as much, I've really come to realize how thankful I am to be able to receive such a nice education and have the privilege to go to college, because I have many friends out there who have to, you know, find a means to pay for college. And I'm lucky that I've won scholarships and my parents are here to help me. Granted, I have to help pay as well, but it's quite the blessing to be able to go to college. And I'm beyond thankful to have been able to given this opportunity and to be able to become a teacher someday and to help kids realize that this is something they can pursue as well, and that anyone can go to college if they're willing to work hard. And like many of the classes I'm taking because I want to be a teacher have helped us all realize this goal and how important it is to instill like these values, especially that the Rotary Club represents, into all of our students. And I've just really like, ever since going to college, I have realized how thankful I am. And it's been like quite a blessing in disguise, and I've really enjoyed my experience. So, OH.
Even though I did not go to The Ohio State University, we go down to Disney World every New Year's. I like to see the New Year's end with my, about 220,000 closest friends that are at Disney World. But last year, my wife bought me an Ohio State sweatshirt, because usually Ohio State is playing in a bowl game on January 1 or very close, and you walk around Disney World going, O-H-I-O.
Fun things I've done. I told the people that interviewed me for the scholarship that I was thinking about keeping my trumpet. I ended up putting my trumpet down and pursuing something else in music, which I really love to do. I really love to sing. So I joined an a cappella group on campus, and that's like a really big growing thing in colleges now. And we've been singing and having a lot of fun. So that's been a really great experience for me. I just love to sing. In terms of, I've made a lot of great new friends, and it's really just been an amazing experience. I'm very thankful for the Rotary Club of Hudson for the scholarship, and very thankful for my parents. My mom's here. That's her right there. She. In terms of how I did my classes, pretty well. Yeah. My 3 classes that were not chemistry, just fantastic. I took my final exam in chemistry on Monday, and I got my grade back yesterday. And I didn't fail it, you guys. I was really, thank you. I did not fail. Our average was a 58% on the final. I've never experienced a test like that before, except for the AP test. Like, I've never had a test in a class where the average is failing, like, and that's like a normal thing, and people are just supposed to be okay with that. I did not. You just have to be above the average to do well there. So I'm not terribly worried about how my grade's gonna go, but no more chemistry. So basically, great year overall. It's been really great. I see Jackie around. I see Natalie sometimes. There are so many kids from Hudson that go to Ohio State. Every day I see someone from Ohio State, from Hudson, and that's just attributed to how good our students are, and to see them there every day. It's nice to have a familiar face there with you, and to say hi to them every once in a while, so you don't lose touch, which is a nice thing. But I just want to say one more big thank you to the Rotary Club and for all these great experiences, and I'm really looking forward to semesters to follow. So thank you very much.
Well, I think you will join me in acknowledging that we made great selections last year for our scholarship students. And it's a timely today to talk about scholarships, because as of Monday, we have the applications distributed for the 2015 scholarship program. So we are starting that. I would encourage all you Rotarians, if you know anybody that has high school seniors, Hudson high school seniors, you have to be going to Hudson. I would encourage you to have them stop in the, I guess I used to call it guidance office. I don't know what they still call it, the guidance office, and pick up an application. They are due just before spring break, and then we will be interviewing the students in early April. They're online. And they're also online, Catherine says. So encourage anybody you know to fill out the application. The more the merrier. If we end up having to interview 30 people, so be it. That'd be a great situation. So with that, I thank all our young people for getting up so early. You must not have had a 7:30 class, right, Ken? we did have those when we went to school. So I appreciate you getting up early and coming in and sharing with us. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
This is always such an interesting program in December. So thank you, Dan, and thank you, Catherine, for administering this program. So some announcements. This is our last meeting of this year. There's no meeting next week or no meeting on New Year's Eve, and the next meeting will be January 7th. And at that meeting, we'll also have some guests because we have a cluster meeting, which is the 5 or 6 local Rotary clubs that we're a cluster with. So we'll have some representatives from those from those other Rotary clubs. And all of you are welcome to attend that cluster meeting, which will follow our regular Rotary meeting. So I'm going to read this, what Allison wrote for me to read. Our snowbirds have flown south for the winter, but we are having a vacation here. So think sun and sand and water and come dressed for vacation on January 7th. And it's going to be called Wacky Wednesday. So that's so it's up to you. So I'd like to thank our guests for attending. I'd like to thank our scholarship winners for getting up so early in the morning, and we will conclude our meeting with drawing for the Rotobuck. And we have $14 for the payout and $224 as the jackpot. And I'll have Ken here draw the winning ticket.
270146.
Wrong number. That's me again.
Oh! Okay, Robert. It's in there, right?
I see.
All right, let's start it up. Nope.
I'll take these.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, this concludes our meeting. Happy holiday to everybody.